All right, Coach, coming off an undefeated weekend at home, your team hits the road for the first time this weekend, goes to Edwardsville on Friday, returns home for Grand Canyon on Sunday. Talk about the momentum you built this past weekend.
We're excited about starting the season off on a very positive note this year. We have a little more challenging weekend ahead of us as we kind of move forward, going on the road, playing Edwardsville. They're coming off a nice 4-1 win over Drake. They had one young lady score all 4 goals, so we're got our task ahead of us is kind of shutting her down and making sure that we keep things going in the right direction. But I think that we've continued to grow each game. Practice last night was pretty good. We've got some things set up for the next couple of nights we think are going to help us out this weekend, and looking forward to keeping the momentum going.
What changes have you worked on, and what things have you worked on in practice coming off this past weekend?
One thing we need to do is we need to be a little more efficient with our offensive opportunities. We had 29 shots against UND and just put a couple balls in the net. We've got to create a few more shots on goal out of the shots we're getting, and we've got to be able to be more efficient with those shots we get on goal. I think defensively, we had a couple breakdowns. We'd like to start putting some shutouts on the board, and we're working on a few things there in terms of recovery runs and making sure our kids are getting back to help the keepers out a little more. But overall, I mean, we're just kind of keep chugging along and implementing a few things each week until we get everything kind of in place, before the conference season starts.
Now, obviously, you're relying on quite a few younger girls right now this season. What difference does it make going on the road for the first time, and what can they expect to be different than opposed to a home game?
Well, we definitely, you're not sleeping in your own bed, that night. You've got to deal with taking a 3.5-hour bus ride and getting off and being ready to play a game. These are all things I think that will help prepare us for the conference season in terms of travel and things like that. It's not a full weekend out of town, so we're kind of easing them in a little more than maybe we have in the past, where you do a full weekend, 2 games on the road. So it should be a nice little test for them, but something I think the young ladies are definitely willing to step up and meet the challenge of.
Now, again, it'll be a different turnaround time for you this weekend as well, as you are on the road Friday and then come home for a Sunday home match. How will that preparation change as opposed to this past weekend where you played twice on the home turf?
Not a whole lot. We don't practice real hard on Saturdays in between 2 games. We like to give our kids a little bit of a break, just kind of get out, do a little run and stretch, get them loosened up, and get them ready to go the next day. Playing two games in about a 72-hour period can be a little challenging, so we don't want to do too much to them. What we'll do is we'll come back from Edwardsville on Saturday morning and get a chance to get off the bus, go run and stretch a little bit like we normally do, and then be ready for Sunday's game. So other than that, not a real big change from playing 2 home games.
Lastly, with everyone really in the country having one weekend under their belt of playing, what sort of scouting reports are you able to see on opponents this early in the season?
You get scouting reports that can be a little interesting at times. Teams are trying to fill themselves out, and they're trying to figure out what works for them. And you go into a Friday game, you make a few adjustments. Players step up, other players don't respond as well as you hope they would do. The young lady that scored 4 goals for Edwardsville, she came off the bench and halfway through the first half and put 4 balls in that. My guess is she'll probably start this weekend. So you get little things like that where people rise to the occasion, others may not rise as much to the occasion, so the lineups can be wildly different from one game to the next. Teams also will play around different formations this time of year. So in the Edwardsville opponent, we have now they played a 4-4-2 on Friday, then a 4-3-3 on Friday, then a 4-4-2 on Sunday. So you got to be prepared for anything, so to speak. But for the most part, we're worried about what our kids are doing and how they're responding to the things we're working on. And I think if we go out this weekend and execute the stuff we work on this weekend in practice, and we're going to be better than we were last weekend, and I like what our chances are at that point in time.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.